Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. This is Paul, otherwise known here on YouTube as Optibonomist. And I've been thinking about this for a little bit and thinking about what I can say with this. There's a whole new thing happening amongst collectors. And a lot of it, if you can tell by the title, circles around Walmart. And I'm trying to figure out if there's even anything that we can do about it. It doesn't seem like there is, to be totally honest. It's a big giant corporation working with toy companies, and I don't know if it's even worth talking about. But I figure as collectors, we could have a discussion about it. As many of you know, when Toys R Us went under, it left a big giant gap for toy companies to get out exclusive products or just products in general. NECA was a company that really utilized Toys R Us considerably. A lot of their figures were sold there. You couldn't find them really anywhere else other than, say, Toys R Us. That's one example. There's a lot of other cases with exclusives and things of that nature that have. We've had exclusive toys for as long as I can possibly remember. But now that Toys R Us is gone, it's left this big giant gap where companies can put their product, whether it be NECA or Hasbro or Mattel. I mean, what I'm about to talk about today spans every major toy company, and there's one common denominator: Walmart. So, and it's all happened fairly recently when you think about it. So, recently, Walmart started releasing a lot of exclusive figures or exclusive releases and things like that. One of which recently were the Kenner Ghostbuster figures. I watched a video by Pixel Dan, and he brought up some really good points in it. I feel, however, they're not necessarily to blame. Walmart is not necessarily to blame for a lot of their issues with the Ghostbuster stuff. So the new Kenner Ghostbuster figures are meant to be exclusives for Walmart. They are, if you guys have seen my reviews of them, they are exclusive reissues of those original 80s Kenner figures. And Hasbro has done, or Mattel, who the hell made those? I don't even remember now that I'm thinking about it. Hasbro, I think, made these. And Hasbro went into partnership with Walmart to create these. They set up a pre-order. People pre-ordered them, but then they started showing up in stores. And a lot of people that pre-ordered them started getting really pissed off, excuse the language, or getting upset because people were able to walk into stores and buy these figures off the shelf, and the pre-orders weren't even being filled yet. So there was a lot of kind of animosity from the beginning. And a lot of it was unknown. Now, what has recently come of that is that apparently the phrase, "who you gonna call," which was put, and I'm really kind of annoyed now that I think about it. I got one of the sets initially that had "who you gonna call" printed on the package, and that's what you see in my reviews. Apparently, Hasbro did not get the the necessary rights, that phrase is apparently copyrighted. And they did not get the necessary rights to have that on the package to sell. So what I'm assuming happened was Walmart then delayed the release of these because Hasbro's like, you can't sell these. And they had already started selling them. So yeah, Walmart kind of screwed the pooch on that one. But I feel like a lot of it was because of Hasbro and not doing their due diligence and getting the right stuff done. Then, so they released the package with the figures that had the blurb on there. They then had to go back and replace that. So then they started selling them again. They started selling them again without that on there. But then apparently that still wasn't right. That they then had to put international documentation or wording on there. So now there's basically 3 different variants for the package. And like I said, I'm kind of bummed out because the first ones that I opened and reviewed had that special who you gonna call thing on there. I've since bought new ones. I think I talked about it in the video that I wanted to get another set to keep in the package just for sentimental value. I mean, they are not going to be worth anything. Figures nowadays are not worth as much as older figures because they make a shit ton more. That's one of the things like old comic books. If you guys have seen my room tour videos, I have several original comics from Ninja Turtles, or you can see some right over there that are Superman. The Superman thing kind of screwed everything up because they started making thousands and thousands of those copies, and it really dumbed everything down in terms of value. So that's the same thing with toys. That's the same thing with everything that's collectible. Nowadays, there's not a lot. So I just wanted them just for sentimental value and to keep them in a package. But I'm bummed out because now I don't have the ones that were kind of mistakes, I guess. I opened those up, but at least I had them. I did the videos. It is what it is. So there's all sorts of weird things with that. But like I said, I feel like that's Hasbro's problem. And Walmart just kind of gets stuck with the bill at the end of the day. What I will agree with Pixel Dan about is that Walmart is selling things that they really should recognize is a collector sort of product and treat it as such when they're shipping it. I saw his, I think it was the Green Ghost, where they literally folded it in half and stuffed it in a box. If you don't have the box, don't put it in there. You know, I mean, if you don't have the box the right size, don't put it in there. That's stupid. No, I am not always drinking Coca-Cola. But, you know, so, I mean, there's definitely mistakes on their end with that. And to anybody who ordered them, pre-ordered them, you're probably starting to get them now. They're coming in different waves and all this kind of stuff as they're getting the replacement product for the package and all that fun stuff. But that's not the only thing that Walmart has screwed up on. A little bit ago, I want to say that the next thing were the Masters of the Universe Origins figures. These are not supposed to come out until the end of July, beginning of August. And I even contacted Mattel. I'm happy to announce that Mattel is going to be partnering with me, where I will be producing videos of, I believe, the first 2 waves of them, they said. Well, the first wave shortly, and then the second wave will come a month or 2 later. So very happy about that, and very much excited to partner again with Mattel. We work together with their Jurassic Park stuff, and I'm a big Masters of the Universe fan, as I know a lot of people are. You may not necessarily be watching my videos for that, but I'm still going to do them because it's something that I love personally. But the Origin figures are meant to take those old vintage figures in the same look and style as those original vintage figures from the 80s and update them with modern technology and modern articulation. They're not meant to be, and I did the video review of the San Diego Comic-Con version from last year. They're not meant to be cartoon representations. That's the Matty Collector Masters of the Universe Classic figures. That's what that is. This is a whole new thing. But the first year, I believe, they're supposed to be exclusive to Walmart. Then after that, they're going to be mass released to all stores. So Target, really just Target, and all that kind of stuff. But apparently, a couple weeks ago, Walmart started shipping them. And when I talked to the Mattel people, Mattel was shocked. They didn't understand how that happened. They're like, I mean, they gave a really nice kind of thing. They're like, you know, like, I'm so glad that they're excited about these figures as well. And they were so excited that they released them to everybody. And ultimately, that's not really what was supposed to have happened. Somebody screwed up and they released them early. They started shipping them and all that kind of stuff. I don't believe that they're being found in stores, but this is a case again where Walmart screwed up with this. So people are getting them. What this in turn does is make scalping go through the roof. People are seeing these figures and they're getting them and they're selling them for astronomical prices. So they screwed up with the Masters of the Universe stuff. This leads me, in talking about scalping, leads me to the next really big one, in my opinion. Not the most biggest, but it's a pretty big one, is NECA. NECA and I used to have a really good relationship. They don't bother talking to me anymore. I've been very vocal about how I feel that they have lied to collectors for the past several years, specifically with their TMNT stuff. That they would constantly say, there's no way that these figures are going to be able to be released outside of a convention, or there's no way that this is going to happen. No way this is going to happen. And I'm glad to see that they found a way, but when you label it as no way, and then you sell a convention exclusive, and people think that that's the only way that they're ever going to be able to get it, but then a few months later, they release them as GameStop or Target or Walmart exclusives, kind of pisses me off that they artificially inflate the prices of these things and send scalpers into a frenzy, because scalpers know that they're going to be able to buy these and then turn around and sell them for astronomical prices. Case in point, and I had to deal with this with primarily Bebop and Rocksteady, the 2-pack of Bebop and Rocksteady. I've still yet to see that at any Target stores. The Bebop and Rocksteady, I want to say that the cartoon stuff are exclusive to Target, and then the movie stuff is exclusive to Walmart. So we're going to be getting, I think in September, a Leatherhead and I forgot his name, Slash figure. These are their cartoon variants. Now, we got the video game ones previously, well, not for Leatherhead, but with Slash specifically. I've still never seen Bebop and Rocksteady at any Target around me, and there's about 5 in my immediate area here in Southern California. I've never seen them. Yet, I guarantee you I can go on eBay and plug in NECA, Bebop and Rocksteady, and set the thing to say nearest first, because you can set it by like most expensive, least expensive, and then nearest, right? And I can put nearest, and I guarantee you I will get several that pop up as being like less than 5 miles from me. So they bought them at the Targets that I'm able to go to, and then they put them on eBay, and they're selling them for easily 2 or 3 times the price. This happened very recently with the release of the movie Casey Jones and Raphael in Disguise. It's a 2-pack set that is exclusive to Walmart, like I said. And I believe that the movie figures are exclusive to Walmart stores. That was released online. You're going to be able to go in and order them. Except something happened, and it apparently broke Walmart's system. So many people were trying to order them, they got flagged or something, that Randy Falk, the product developer, manager, whatever, the guy who runs their Twitter, basically said that there was an error. Hold on, they're going right back up. They're not sold out. Don't worry. But then he went MIA for like days, and nobody knew what the hell was happening with these figures. And again, nobody knew if they actually got their pre-orders in with it or their orders in. Fast forward a couple days later, they started showing up at retail stores. Now, there's probably about 4 or 5 Walmarts around me. I've gone to one, and they have the tag there for the Ninja Turtles for that set. Figures aren't there. I don't anticipate ever being able to find them. I do have a friend of mine that did find them. That's one very fortunate thing about having such a big audience that knows that I like these. They're able to contact me, and he found 2. He bought one for himself, and he bought one for me. I paid him for it, and he shipped them. And all I had to do was pay the shipping and the regular cost of it. I didn't get charged extra. Because these things are going, they're $50. They're going for like $150 on eBay. And this is going to get worse. Most people just want Casey Jones out of that set. The Raphael is a re-release of the Raphael figure that came out before, but it has a cloth trench coat and a hat. They're going to be coming out with a Super Shredder from Secret of the Ooze a little bit later, and they're coming out with the Toka and Razar, which, if people are thinking it's going to be the same thing with Leatherhead and Slash, that if they're thinking that what happened with Casey Jones isn't going to happen tenfold with those other figures that people actually really want, both of them, they got another thing coming. And again, it's Walmart screwing up and not doing things properly with how they're doing things. Why does the website crash or whatever? Why aren't there precautions already put in place? And now I also do blame NECA for some of it, because I feel like they're not providing enough supply for these. They know that people want these, and granted, there's more Walmarts than there were Toys R Us's, but I feel like they're not making that many more figures for everybody to get them. So what's happening, and a lot of times it's like the actual store employees are getting these, taking them, and then putting them on eBay and selling them for $150. So easily getting their money back plus $100 on this stuff. So I don't know why NECA and in general, I don't know why toy companies don't go with Amazon. Why don't you use Amazon? NECA's got their own online store that, for their Ninja Turtle stuff, they sell international customers their figures. So if you live in Canada, for example, you can go on NECA's website and you can order them. We can't in the United States. Now, granted, people would be like, well, hey, you United States people, you guys are always spoiled with your figures. And I'm not going to argue that at all. But make it so everybody can do that. Why can't you produce the figures? You clearly have a shipping department that can ship these. Do that. Or work with Big Bad Toy Store. Big Bad Toy Store does a lot of exclusive figures. Big Bad Toy Store would make a shit ton of money. I don't know why they don't use companies like that. Or like I said, Amazon. So NECA is always screwing up when it comes to their releases, specifically of the Ninja Turtle stuff. And then most recently, this was something that even kind of floored me. I get press releases from Hasbro, and I got the press release on the 2nd of July, I think it was, about an exclusive crossover of Back to the Future and Transformers. We are getting a transforming DeLorean. It's a heavy retool of the Earthrise, or the Siege Sideswipe figure. And the press release on it said, starting today, you can go on Walmart.com, pre-order yours. Then later on in the year, and that's one of the variants. There's 2 variants. One of them comes with special packaging. That's the Walmart one. There's another one that I think is a regular package, much like what we got with Ectotron, But the other thing is that I think that there's a paint variation in it. Like the pictures look different. There's a set of pictures that they sent out with the press release where it looks just like a flat plastic, like gray plastic, like this. And then there's another one that looks like it's got a nice metallic dry brush on it, which looks more like a real DeLorean. Whether or not that's confirmed, I don't know. It didn't say anything, but just looking at the pictures, it kind of looks like that. But either way, there's a special package version for Walmart. It was limited to 1,986, I believe, because that's when Back to the Future came out. So when I got that press release, I was super excited because it was finally revealed. I clicked on the link, and when I went to the link, it said, sorry, page not found, or whatever. So I'm like, oh, well, maybe they haven't made it live yet. The 35th anniversary was technically on July 3rd. So I was like, maybe they meant to send this press release out, meaning tomorrow for the actual anniversary. That's what I thought. So I posted pictures. I posted the information that was in the press release. Had conversations back and forth with people. They're like, the link doesn't work. I'm like, yeah, I think maybe it'll probably work tomorrow. Just keep your eyes open. Who knows? Apparently, though, now this was for Walmart's exclusive. The later release is going to be through Hasbro Pulse. That is, I think, in October. So the Walmart link doesn't work. The rumors start spreading, but then some people start saying, by some people, I mean like people that go on eBay, they sit there and they look and see that people are actually listing this on eBay, and it says that it's a confirmed pre-order, which means somebody potentially actually got on there. Like the pre-orders did go live, and they were up for like 6 minutes or something, and nobody knew because it wasn't working for the most part. And then I'm assuming people just gave up and didn't think about it. But then somebody else went on and then they found it. So then everything went batshit crazy with these, where people were posting these confirmed pre-orders on eBay for like $700, $800, $1,986, all this insane shit, right? And again, the common denominator in all of this is Walmart. What is Walmart doing? How are they doing this? How are they so inept at handling this? You know, and I don't, like I said at the beginning of this video, I don't know what we can do as collectors to combat that. You know, these are figures that probably wouldn't be released any other way unless they had a big retail support structure. And Walmart and Target, because those are the two main places now. These are the places that people are going to go to get these because that's where they're released. They can't go, they don't have any other options. So what options do we have as collectors? Do we email Walmart? Do we send them a bunch of emails? Do we petition Hasbro? I mean, Hasbro's got Hasbro Pulse. They can sell things through there. Mattel doesn't really have a online retail arm anymore. Ever since Matty Collector kind of went away, they don't have anything. NECA, I feel, has options with, like I said, their own store, Amazon, Big Bad Toy Store. All of these people do. So I don't know really what to do with it, but it leaves collectors feeling screwed. And when you look at certain things like these exclusives, it ends up making scalpers go crazy with these figures and charge you exorbitant amounts of money to be able to get them because they may get to a store earlier than you do. And I hate scalpers just in general. I don't mind if you're buying something. You know, I mentioned my friend who got me Casey Jones, I offered to give him an extra $20 for his work. He took time out of his day. He went there. Granted, I mean, he was already there. But, you know, in a situation like that, if you're taking the time out of your day to do something, and by, you know, I mean, that I don't feel is being scalper-ish. When people are buying them to point blank run it as a business and sell these things, I don't feel like that's right. And I guess ultimately the only thing that I can say is don't support scalpers. I just saw the Ghostbuster figures with, you know, who you're gonna call. There's a set of the 6, so all 4 of the Ghostbusters, then the Green Ghost and Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, which I still have yet to see at my stores. Those 2 figures are kind of hard to come by, but I want to say that the bids were up to $141 for these. These are $15 toys. $15 for the 4 Ghostbusters, and I want to say $20 for the ghosts. I could be wrong on the ghost price, but way overpriced because the packaging is different. That I can understand being a little bit different because it is kind of, like I said, a variant. It's a mistake by Hasbro. So that is what it is. But everything else, it just feels like they're screwing with people. And Walmart's not going to care. Target's not going to care. I feel like what we need to do is send these companies messages. They are the ones that are going to listen to the collecting community. NECA will listen to the collecting community. Hasbro will listen to the collecting community. Don't pay the scalper prices for things. That just emboldens them to continue to charge astronomical prices for these things. And it's not right what they're doing. And I feel like if we as a collecting community go to these companies, NECA, Hasbro, Mattel, and say, look at what your practices with these people are causing us to go through. Look for alternatives. Renegotiate things. Make sure that you're being more, and that, you know, I mean, I know enough about it that when you get a retail giant like Walmart who wants to buy tens of thousands of units of your product, you're just going to sell it because they're about the money. That's really it. NECA, there's no doubt in my mind, would have gone out of business if they didn't evolve to include Target and Walmart in their stuff. They would have been done, completely done. So at least we're getting them, but they need to be more diligent with how they negotiate this stuff. And it's one of those things where the retailers hold a lot of the cards, and it's unfortunate. You know, toy companies need the retailers. The retailers don't need the toy companies. So, I don't know. I just wanted to throw this out there, get a dialogue going, see what you guys have to say. What do you think about all of this in terms of exclusivity, scarcity tactics, scalping, all of this? What do you think we can do as a community to send a message to some of these companies? These companies that know, Hasbro, Mattel, they all know that these particular figures, the Ghostbuster, the Kenner Ghostbuster stuff, the Ninja Turtle figures, the NECA movie, cartoon Ninja Turtle stuff, the Back to the Future things 35 years ago, the Masters of the Universe Origins line. These are all lines that these toy companies know appeal to collectors. These are collector-minded people. They are keeping us in mind when they're producing these products. What can we say to them to raise awareness and say it's not okay for us? You guys make these amazing products. We want to support you and buy these. But what do you think we can do? Because like I said, these toy companies, they're getting their money. They don't care. They don't get money from us. These toy companies, they sell their toys to these retailers. These toy companies already have their money. They don't care what we think. So what can we do? What can we say? How can we approach this as a community? Let me know. Tell me what you guys think. I look forward to having a conversation and discussion with you guys. I'm going to pay very close attention to what you guys say in the comments. A lot of times I don't sit down and go through all the comments in all my videos. But this one I want to pay attention to because I feel like it's important. So let me know. Have fun, guys. Don't pay the scalpers. And as I always say, that the real trouble with the world is that too many people grow up. Thank you for watching and taking the time to be a kid.